Hello and welcome to Cooking with Steve. Recently I was talking to one of my favorite people in the world, and that's my niece Melissa, and she's a school teacher back in Indiana, and she was telling me about her food sciences class and how she had the kids making a roux. Well, it's my belief that a roux is one of the fundamental lessons you need to learn in cooking, and that's what we're going to do today. Is we're going to make a simple blonde roux with butter and flour, and that's about all you need. And we're going to add some milk to it and make a gravy out of it when we're done. But this is such a foundation lesson. A roux can be made with just about any fat that you want. It can be made with bacon grease, sausage grease, any kind of fat. I'm going to use butter today. This lesson will also teach you how to make biscuits and gravy later on with sausage gravy, which another friend of mine named Bill suggested that I show you guys how to do as well. So we're just going to take a little pat of butter, remove the paper from it, toss it in our skillet. I've got our skillet going at about 4. We need that to melt down real good. I'm going to go ahead and let that butter melt down, and then we'll be back. As you can see, our butter melted down really nicely. I'm going to leave that on the stove, and I'm going to go ahead and take some flour that I have in a bowl here and add it to the butter. Now you can make all kinds of roux. One of the things that I do is when I'm making gumbo or anything like that, I'll thicken it up with a roux as well. And I'll start with a butter base on that and add some flour to it and get it going. And then the liquid that you put in determines what you're going to be making. So like if I'm making a roux to put in my gumbo, I go ahead and I put some of the broth that I've cooked the chicken and the sausage in here to finish off the roux. Today we're going to make a milk gravy, so I'll be using milk. But you can use water. You can use a product called Kitchen Bouquet to make it a dark or a brunette roux. And I'll use that when I'm making a gravy for beef or elk meat or something like that. But you just put a little flour in at a time. Don't put too much in. And it's one of those things you just kind of work up and build on it. So now I've got a nice creamy paste from the flour and the butter. I'll give you a look here. You can see that's really nice and creamy. And what I'm going to do is grab some milk, put just a little bit of milk in. Don't put in too much, because you can put in way too much and then you're going to have not a nice thick gravy. It'll be too thin. So I'm going to let that milk go. And one of the keys is you really have to work your roux into the milk. My niece mentioned that her kids and her especially as well find it really satisfying to make a nice roux. And if you can see that the paste is getting thick, I'm going to add some more milk. And work that again. And what you're trying to do is get all the lumps out and work it into your liquid. And as your liquid heats up, it'll accept that roux and thicken it up and make a nice gravy. And as I mentioned, this is a blonde roux. It doesn't have any color like a brunette. So for a brown gravy. And this is basically the same simple steps you'll take when making sausage gravy. And as I mentioned, I really believe that knowing how to make a roux will help you out in your cooking in the long run. So it's really a foundation skill, something you should build, and then you'll be able to make a lot of different things. You'll see me making a lot of roux with my recipes and adding it to them. So now that's thickening up. Looks pretty good. I don't think I'm going to be adding any more milk. I will add a little salt and a little pepper. Let that incorporate. And there you have it. It's a nice milk gravy. I can add it to my breakfast in the morning, put it on some potatoes or something I prepare, and there it is. Nice milk gravy. We'll talk to you soon. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you on the next episode. Well, that concludes today's episode of Cooking with Steve. I hope you enjoyed spending the time with me, because I sure enjoyed spending the time with you. If you would, help me out by subscribing, liking the video, and sharing it with your friends. And as always, please remember to live modestly, speak humbly, and enjoy life fully. We'll see you next time.